What's going on, YouTube? Is Donnie B all day. So I have got this crazy cool video that I want to do, and I didn't even think of it. This was recommended by another knife guy, another channel owner. Check him out, Mr. Paul Myers, one of the nicest guys out there. So Paul had asked me about doing a versus, with an S, a versus, but he wanted a special versus, something cool. He said, what if you did a versus between a fixed blade Bowie? He didn't even tell me which one. He just said a fixed blade Bowie. So I'm going to use the Case XX, right? I'm going to use the Case XX, and I'm going to pit it against, who's got some oil on it? It's got some oil on it. The Cold Steel XL Espada. And what he said was, why not take a fixed blade Bowie against a folding Bowie, and this is the one he mentioned specifically, and give him a test to see how they might compare if a folding Bowie like this one right here, the Cold Steel Extra Large Espada, how it would fare against a fixed blade. And I thought, that's a really good idea, man. I'm glad I thought of it. There's a wink behind them glasses. So I'm not going to get into all the specs because I've done videos on both. All you got to do is look them up. But as far as blade for blade, they're pretty close. They're both big Bowie blades. And you can see that there's no real ricasso on this one. So cutting edge to cutting edge, the favor is definitely going to go to the case. But that gets trumped when you talk about grip for grip. Because if I put down here and put down here, swinging from the end of this one offers a ton more momentum than on this one. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to take them out, and we are going to see how each one responds to equal testing. So we're going to get out and we're going to do that real quick and get that done. I want to show you something. I came up with a new one, man. You know, I'm always designing stuff. And, oh, speaking of always designing stuff, I got a reach out from the Kukri House last night. And they said to me, hey, we've got a bunch of requests for you, that's me, to design a camp kukri. So I spent some time last night. I finished it around 2 in the morning, maybe a little after that, designing a camp kukri. They said they want it small, which means 8-inch blade. They said 8 to 9-inch blade. So I went with 8-inch. And they want it aggressive. And I think I definitely nailed that. Let me show you what it looks like. No. That's going to be a sneak peek type thing. Plus, I want to find out, you know, if it's a one that they're going to say, oh, yeah, that's the one we want to do. I also showed them, my, everybody was asking me about doing a D-guard kukri. So I showed them my design for that. They're kind of really liking it, but it's going to put back burner behind this next one because right now, my version of the Crocodile Dundee knife is almost through production. So once that gets here, you guys are going to be able to see that. That's going to be awesome. Awesome. So totally excited. We got some big things coming. What I wanted to show you. You know, I'm always designing. Let's see if I can get this up there. It says, death knocks upon the door of every man. ... Death knocks upon the door of every man. You see a picture of death. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get this in there. But it says on the back, it says, D-Bad simply answers. Oh, yeah, baby. I don't even know if that was in the shot. But I'll try again outside. I'll try and give you a shot of it. So let's go play. All right, before I get started, I'll give you a good shot of the back. Hopefully you can see it. Who cares, really, right? Who cares? You're here to see something else. Full blades. So let's get these blades under some work. Let's get them firing off. I chose the case to battle this because I wanted a fair fight. And I happen to know 100% that the XL Espada is awesome. So I needed an equally awesome fixed blade counterpart for me to miss the stump with. All right, so let us get to work here. First things first, let's do some drops for balance, and that's all that this is we're going to see how much balance from tip to stump at 4 feet. It is really windy out here, but that knife is nice and big and heavy, and this knife is just nice and big. This dropped actually straight, it just fell off, so let's try that again. Wow, it's really windy out here. I didn't expect this. All right, so 4 feet from tip to stump. Good thing I got them long arms. And you can see they're dropping pretty consistent, pretty even. And so now what we're gonna do is a couple of hard downward throws, and we'll just check the bite on this test. And let's see what we have here. So, the bite on the case gave me about 1.5 inches. The bite on this one gave me just a slight bit more, literally a slight bit more. This has got a really long, narrow clip. This one's got a traditional, nice, fat clip. Let's see what we want to do. I'm going to baton with each of them. Actually, we're going to do a tip strength test. And what we'll do is we'll start with the case. We're going to do it on this stump right here. See if I can get a nice bite in there. Let's see if I can actually hit the damn log. All right. So inside a log, over 30 pounds. I'm going to do some twisting, back and forth, side to side action. I want to make sure that that tip isn't going to bend, or the whole blade isn't going to bend. And whew, man, that's it. I think I cracked the log. I think I did. Wow, that got, you can see how deep that got in there. Okay, so let's try what it's got. Ooh, did you see that flex? All right, that blade flexed a lot more. Let's see. That one flexed a lot more. Gonna cut off my ankle. Ugh. And this one actually, it's funny that the case actually dove deeper into that one. I must have thrown it really hard. But they are both dead straight, dead nut, no problem. Now, the difference between one and the other is obviously this one has a pivot point, which means this one is going to be overall stronger throughout, but that doesn't make this one weak, right? If you've seen the videos, this one I carried in Afghanistan with me. Why? Because I'm not all there in the head. So let us bang on these blades. The main test is going to be like the chop. That's what I really want to see. Chop and grip and how they feel. But we're obviously going to have to baton something, right? That's just part of the game. And I'm going to give it a good hard shot. No problem. Obviously, no problem. This one, it's the Case XX. I mean, do I see a problem ever happening with this knife? No. This knife, that went right through a knot too. This knife, I've used this so much and it looks pristine. But I've done so many videos with this knife too. This is just a great freaking knife. This is a great freaking knife. Let's talk about grip and balance. So if I went with foregrip for foregrip and then chopped, this guy would absolutely outperform this one. The difference is this is called a pocket sword for a reason, because you can back up the grip. You have a grip point A, grip point B, grip point C. You have 3 grip points. This one has a grip point A, grip point A, and grip point A. Same 3. So you definitely have more versatility in the grip. I can really get a good wind out with this one, where this one, even though I have one grip, it's still thrusting, it's still moving, it's still hitting with all that power, even though I don't have the length. So it's really really difficult to put this one down anyway when it comes to swing. The difference is this one, obviously, if you hold it here compared to here, the momentum is just greater. That's science, right? As far as grip comfort, this one is a very thin grip, so you do get a really comfortable grip in almost any position you hold it. It feels really good. This is the worst position as far as grip for big hands, and it's still not bad. Grip on here for big hands, this is made for like a medium to large, or small to small, maybe not small, but medium. I'd say medium to large hand. I have a XX grip, so when you look at it, you think, well, how the hell does your hand fit in there? It does fit. It pushes the pinky in, but what it does is it provides an insanely tight grip. And what that means is I don't need to worry about a lanyard hole, and I don't need to worry about any kind of texturing, because between here and here, my hand is locked in there. I mean, it is, this part right there, it's just locks in there. And that's what makes the case so wonderful for guys with big hands, is it forces you to hold the knife. And I do like that. Grip for grip, I mean, this one is more versatile, and one is just classic. I mean, it's no real way to separate that, and that's it. That's it. But let's go chop some stuff over here. You know, I got some small stuff to chop, but what we're gonna do, and maybe we'll do some more batoning. We'll baton full logs instead of a cut log, to give you guys more of a real good look at what's going on. But until then, we're just gonna come over here and we're gonna chop. We're gonna chop. All right, hopefully, yeah, you can see that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna left hand, right hand chop first, and then I'm gonna switch hands so it's fair. Now, what I'm doing with the case, obviously, I'm choking down because I want that momentum. And while it's not a grip that's provided, it's a grip you can just do on your own. And by provided, I mean one that they meant for it to be a grip. They meant for this to be the grip, but when you're swinging a knife, obviously, I should probably take off the ring, because every time I do this, I lose a diamond and I have to go get it replaced and fixed. I have spent so much replacing diamonds on this damn thing. All right, so, because I don't think about things like that. All right, so let's keep going. Now, I have to say, let me see how it looks. You're only about like less than 2 inches probably when I choke down on here and I hold this one on its rear grip. It's really not that far off. So the momentum I'm getting in the case is actually better feeling, and it's more impactful. I'm getting a bigger dig. Let's try that with the other hand and see how that's going to be. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I didn't expect that. I expected this one, because of this long grip, to have way more momentum, but I think because this is so light, it's a really light knife, and this one has got a little bit more weight to it, I think that's explaining why the case is out chopping the cold steel. So, I just banged my knee on the stump. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choke up and try to hit. Now, it's kind of unfair to this because there's all this back here, which changes the weight. If this wasn't here, all the weight would be up front. When you add weight to the rear, you take away the ability to get a good solid chop because that momentum is gone. That's why I have such a problem with the K-bar utility, the USMC. The weight is here. The blade isn't heavy enough to counter that weight, making it not a very good chopper. So let's see. So it's really, I mean, you could chop all day long with this thing. This knife is nasty, but I can really feel the counterweight trying to take away my swing. Let's see, choking up on this one, which is the only real grip, you can see that it's easier to hit the target because there's nothing changing the direction, but it really wants to hit. It just wants to dig in and smash things. I mean, chopping for chopping, it's not a night and day type thing, but it's pretty close to a night and day type thing. it depends on where you hold this, and you know what I mean. It is a Bowie, so it's not like, you know, all Bowies are fighting knives first, right? But they're survival knives. It's exactly what they were in the 1800s and all throughout. Whenever, you know, you've seen a big blade run by somebody moving down and around, this was their kitchen knife. This was their hunting knife. This was their skinning knife. Well, they didn't have that. They had styles more like this. This was their kitchen knife, their hunting knife. And the main thing was their self-defense knife. This was self-defense, but you used your cooking stuff every day. You know what I mean? When you're out on the trail, you had to eat every single day, so you're fighting very infrequently. You know what I mean? So this thing had to be able to tear down an animal. It had to be able to cut up your steaks. It had to be able to, you know, knock the head off that rabbit. This thing needed to do every single thing that you needed a kitchen knife to do. It needed to do every single thing to build yourself a shelter or things like that. So you needed to cut your rope. If you know you had a strap break on your saddle or something, you needed to do a fix. This was your utility knife. But when it came down to, uh-oh, here comes somebody, now you're getting into your ready fight position, and this big knife was going to do it. And it's not just fighting people coming around, but if you had a bear come into camp, you know what I mean? You don't have a lot of chance against a bear, but a guy killed a bear with a buck 110 folding knife. So if you can defend yourself with a 110, this is going to give you a much better chance than that. So there's reasons that they carried the big knife, and this was literally the ultimate survival knife. That's what it was. This makes it even more ultimate because it folds, right? So it's got such a really great lineage to the blade, the big clip point blade, but it's also it's made to be so convenient. And folders have been around for a long time, so it's not like this is a new thing. Like, oh yeah, they started folding knives in the 1900s. No, it's been around for a very, very long time. Now the triad lock can be a little tough, but I'd rather tough and strong than, you know, easy and weak. This is probably, I mean, one of the strongest locks you'll see in the world, a triad lock. Great job designing that, Andrew Demko. But all in all, I don't even know where I was going with that. All in all, the Bowie, it was just an essential piece. Now carrying, this one fits right in the pocket. Oh man, that bite is insane. That bite is insane. So I will show you. People say, how can you carry such a large knife? I will show you. Let's get that combat throw down there. So now, regular jeans. These aren't any special pants. The knife fits right in the pocket perfectly. So I can pull it out now. Left-handed, right-handed. If you're right-handed, it'll come out this way. Left-handed, you can come out this way, and that Emerson lock will open up automatically, so you do have to do nothing. So as far as carry, this is a much easier carry. This one is a belt carry. So if you're not wearing a belt, you're not carrying this knife pretty much, unless you're going to strap it to you somehow or try to tuck it in the waist or things like that. It's just not convenient as far as overall carry. This is going to be the overall stronger knife because it's a solid piece, right? This is going to be the overall better carry. Unless you're used to carrying a large fixed blade, then that would be no problem. And then that whole part of the conversation is mute, right? So the difference between them, if it was me and it comes down to, like, oh, if you could have only one, well, this is pretty difficult because I know that I'm going to spend more time outside of the woods than inside of the woods naturally, right? Because I don't live in the woods. If I had a cabin or something like that and I was in the woods 24/7, then that'd be different. I would be carrying this one all the freaking time. But because I actually, live a normal life I live in a small town, but it's still a town. It's more convenient for me to be able to carry something that I can carry concealed and not freak people out with, and have people not even know it's there, right? But still have the benefits of the large Bowie knife. And this thing definitely gives me all the benefits that this one does. Can I chop? Yeah. Can I baton? Yeah. Can I skin? Yeah. Can I whittle with it? Can I cut things with it? Absolutely every single thing I can do with this, I can do with this. Now, can I fight with it? Yes, obviously. It's called a pocket sword because it's just a nasty piece of long, mean green, Joe Green killing machine. So so if it came down to it where it was you can only have one for like a survival knife in the woods, I want this. But if it was one for a survival knife everywhere, I want this. And I mean, Paul, I hope that answers some kind of question. But the main thing is you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with either. This one's going to conceal and carry in a pocket. This one's going to be a belt hanger. And if you live in a place where you can walk around with this on your belt all day long, I would say, obviously, less moving parts means more security. Go with the less moving parts. But you're not going to have a lack of security with this thing as far as build quality. It's just freaking awesome. So I said we were going to do a little bit more batoning. I just want to go through some full logs. Hold on. All right, so I found two pieces that are same length, same width, same tree. The baton I don't think is going to work very well because it's small, but we're going to try it anyway. So, batoning through a fresh cut, sappy, nasty, sticky piece, which is, you know, problem causing because of the sap especially. But it's solid, it's full. Let's see what we can get out of this. Let's see. Woo! You can really feel the vibrating when you hit up here on this knife. There we go. There we go. I don't know if this baton is going to last to the next one. I might have to get a new one. All right. Well, it looks like I'm all the way through, and I am. So, the main thing with batoning when you're using a knife for batoning, you want to check afterward if you have any warping. Batoning is a very, very easy way to warp a blade. This one is just so strong, no warping. It's beautiful. All right, let's see if the baton is going to last, because I would like to use the same baton because it gets the same swing, same momentum, all that, make it fair. Let's see if I can't get that up there. Oh my goodness. So, blade profile for blade profile. Now this is a hollow grind, I do believe. So with a hollow grind, you got to be a little bit more careful because you have a thinner edge. While it's great for going through things, it also makes it easier for chipping or warping. When the blade is done right though, man, you really don't have to worry about that. Luckily this blade is done right. So equal logs, equal with the same exact baton, so I'm getting the same momentum. This one, because of the blade shape right here, it goes from here, you know, and then it just opens. And that split the wood so much faster. This one was just searing straight through all the way down, where this one split it. So if I have to say what's going to be the better batoning knife, this one. So when it comes down to processing, this one. When it comes down to battle though, if you're using it for self-defense purposes, I want this one. I want this one. I mean, this is awesome. So that's it. These are the two mega beast, you know, fixed blades, not fixed blades, large Bowies that just deserve all the attention and all the respect in the world. Let's see if we can't get a good shot of these two. Man, I love them, man. I love them. And you know, say all the time, if you could have only one type thing, and I'm just really, really glad that I don't have to make that decision, because I don't think I could choose. I don't think so. I love them. So that's it. The Versus. Two very, very capable knives. Two badass, awesome knives. They'll both get the job done. If you want one for the pocket, boop. If you want one for the belt, boop. While this one has a deep pocket clip, you can throw it on a belt. I would still take the Case XX for a belt knife. That's it for me. I am Donnie Buildy. Till next knife.